Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast here in Nashville, Tennessee. Delighted to be joined by Ade Oladipo. Ade, I want to get your thoughts on a few things here, but first of all, big fight week in Nashville, Tennessee. Looking forward to this Survivor tag?
You know, it's crazy. Can I be honest with you? It's crazy. I have no idea what to expect. Like, when I come and do these Misfits events, I just almost, a bit like everyone else that comes, you don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know what's going to happen. The press conference right now, these guys are crazy. It's almost, I feel like the old man trying to control the uncontrollables, but we'll see what happens. You know, the funny thing is, though, I did critique the tag team event they did, I think a couple of months ago. I was like, this is rubbish. And I even said I ain't doing one of these again. When I watched it, it was incredible. So I don't know. This could be fun. It might not work. It might work. I think that's what Mams Taylor at Misfits is trying to do. Just chuck things at the wall. What sticks, sticks. What doesn't. So we'll see how it plays out.
You're a boxing purist, I'd say. You love the sport. Do you believe this harms the sport in any way? I interviewed Eddie Hearn in Detroit last week, and obviously with the whole controversy that happened on Kingpin, do you believe that it is harming the sport in any way?
I don't know. You know, there's a lot of things that harm boxing. You know, a lot of drug cheats that harm boxing. Just corrupt sanctioning bodies that harm boxing. So I think there's few more bigger things than a couple of YouTubers fighting each other. And look, I've tried to separate the two in my brain as well. When I come here, I don't look at this as pure boxing. You know, when I cover big events, whether it be Canelo, Katie Taylor, AJ, Fury, that's boxing. This, I don't really think it is. I think what they've got to be careful of on this, though, is that when you get proper boxers on this, I think Idris Virgo was on one recently. We've got Alan Belcher, who's a BKFC champion on this one. And that's where I think you can muddy the waters a little bit. But no, I've separated the two. And like I said, I think there are so many more things that harm boxing. I think that you know your boxing as well. Heavyweight fights not happening, harm boxing again. So there's so many more things than YouTubers fighting each other. You know what I mean? There's way bigger problems in boxing than this.
Let me get your thoughts on that Kingpin controversy when the girl gets her boobs out. What did you make of that?
Stupid. I'm like, it's just so stupid. Especially when you think of how far female boxing has come. And, you know, how they've tried to get their own respect, not because of how they look, just of how good they are. And when you see so many good fighters coming through that are not doing it based off looks, but just pure talent, it kind of takes it all a step back. So yeah, I thought it was stupid. And look, I've said this with these events, anything can happen. It is, honestly, I'll repeat myself, it is controlling the uncontrollable. So I don't know, hopefully we don't see it again, but can anyone guarantee it ain't going to happen in these type of events? I'm not quite sure, but I know Kingpin released a statement saying she's never going to fight again. So I think that she misses out on a bunch of money because I think she would have made it to the finals, right? So it harms her as well. It's so silly. Like, what is she doing? I saw it and I'm like, she's about to. And then she didn't. I was like, okay, that's just stupid. You don't need to do it. So, yeah, it's just stupid. I don't know why she did it. Oh, he is here. The big boy's here as well.
Bring him in.
He is. Jason Morris in the building. He's looking glorious.
That's right.
You know, like someone just looks incredible. I normally, obviously, when I interview AJ, I look at AJ like, damn, AJ big and just in shape. And he's not as big as AJ, but he's in shape.
Much bigger. Look at
He's just compared you to Anthony Joshua. What do you make of that?
We're about 3 weeks into my own fight camp. You know, the ban has been lifted. You know, we're welcome back.
Lifted, yeah?
It's been lifted.
It's been lifted.
Yeah.
So no more of that kind of stuff again.
Yeah, none of that. No more. We've had an extensive suspension. Mams Taylor actually had me read like 3 or 4 different manuals on the sport of boxing. So.
You only write on the wall, I will not hit my opponent.
You ever seen The Simpsons when he's writing it on the board?
That's what he was like.
I only had to do that about 1,000 times, so it's all right.
You know, it's good to have him back though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's
great
a character, and this, like, I think people forget about this. Like, obviously, everyone wants to become boxers, and that's cool. But before that, these guys are characters. And this guy, entertainers. And he's an entertainer, so it's good to have him back as well.
Oh, it's good to be back.
He's looking good. Look at him. I get away, but you're making me look bad. You make me look bad.
Ade, I want to get your thoughts on your bromance with Wade Plem. Obviously, he's not involved this week in the capacity that he normally is. Will you miss him this week?
Oh, I absolutely love him. I'm not joking. I love him just because he's very good. Like, aside from the fact that obviously there's a little beef, it looks like, between him, Mams, and KSI, he's just the best at what he does. Like, when I jump on stage, I don't know a lot of these guys. And Wade almost holds my hand through this journey. It's funny because I just messaged him now. I said, dude, come through like stone cold. And he's like, you know what? I'm coming through. So Wade is coming through. He'll be here in the next 20, 30 minutes.
Do you think that'll cause any sort of chaos?
Of course it will. And he doesn't care. This is his town. I think you put a post up saying, when you're in my town, you need to check in. No one's checked in. So, Wade is on his way. So it's going to be entertaining when he gets it. But look, in an ideal world, I want him back on it. I think everyone always talks about Misfits 1 as being like that, wasn't it? Misfits 1 was incredible. And you looked at the lineup and Wade was right there in that lineup. So the closer we can get back to that lineup, I think for me and for Misfits as well.
3 more questions from me, right? We'll go quick. KSI Tommy Fury, rumoured to be announced this week, October 14th, Manchester, I've heard. How do you think that one goes? Because you just talked about muddying the waters, bringing in real boxers. Tommy Fury is a real boxer.
No, he is. I mean, he might not be the best boxer that we've all seen, but he's a real boxer. This is a guy that comes from boxing stock. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. And just the size of him, like he's massive. He's massive, and unless they put some sort of rehydration cap, he's just a lot bigger than KSI. As good as KSI has done to kind of close the gap on from KSI that started to KSI now, Tommy Fury is a better boxer. Just a better boxer. He just knows exactly what he's doing. So I don't know. That's risky. I like what KSI is doing, but that's a risky fight. But it's going to do big numbers, and that's what it's all about. And it bums on seats, and that one does 500,000 pay-per-view buys. It has to, innit? KSI is just that guy. Tommy Fury. 500,000 easy. I know people are going to cut 500,000. I'm telling you, it will do it. It's a massive fight.
Jake Paul, Nate Diaz in a couple of weeks. How do you see that one going? Because we've seen Nate on the pads. He doesn't really look great.
He doesn't, but he's got this weird style of... he just keeps on going. Now, when you hear Conor McGregor speak of Nate Diaz, and I mean, Conor, remember when he first fought him years ago, kind of laughed at he's kind of very relaxed and almost like he's high all the time style. But this guy can take a punch. He just keeps on coming, keeps on fighting. And I don't think Jake Paul's got the best engine. So it's going to be interesting. If it goes past 3 or 4 rounds and Nate's still there, that's a problem. Honestly, that's a problem. So I favour Jake but I wouldn't be shocked if Nate stops him late because Nate's a monster. He's a zombie. This is a zombie machine.
Last one from me, some real boxing. We're both going to be there, Spence Crawford. How do you think that one goes? Because a lot of people in the US seem to have Spence, and I feel like the Europeans have Crawford. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, I feel like the US fans have Spence, but the US boxers seem to be favouring Crawford, I've noticed. Look, I mean, this is it, isn't it? It doesn't get any better than this. This is a genuine 50-50 fight. Like, unbeaten, 2 pound for pounders, undisputed. Both, I don't want to say both in their peak, because I don't think you can be in your mid-30s, but I think both very, very close to their peak. This is as good as get. I'm a big Crawford fan. I've always been a Crawford fan. And I just feel like that he's got so many tools that when it does get tough, 7, 8, 9, he's going to go into that tool bag and he's going to find tools that Errol Spence just hasn't seen before. I actually don't think we've seen the best Crawford. I think we've seen the best Spence. So I think Crawford's going to get it done late on points or a late stoppage. I hope, because I'm Team Crawford all the way. But I wouldn't be shocked if Spence stops. And that's how close this fight is. But I mean, look, we're there. We're excited to be there. We've had a good year for boxing. I know we like to kind of dig out boxing a lot. Like we haven't done much this year. When you look at what's happened this year in boxing, apart from the heavyweight, everything else has delivered. You know, so I look forward to it. Sold out arena. And what I like about the American fights are all the superstars there. The rappers, the actors, the NFL stars, NBA stars, Oladipo, so many. Looking forward to it.
Oladipo, thank you very much for your time on IFL, mate. Appreciate it.
Top man. Cheers, bro.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.